Today we're going to be talking about using similar triangles. One method where we use similar triangles is indirect measurement. Indirect measurement is used when you are missing a measurement and it's not something that's easy to measure through direct measurement. So say you're trying to find the height of a building and it's not easy to measure how tall a building is. Or you're trying to measure the distance across a lake and it's not very easy to measure across the lake. You might use this method of indirect measurement, and we're going to explore this in this video. So when two angles in one triangle are congruent to two angles in another triangle, we automatically know that that third angle is also going to be congruent and the triangles are going to be similar. Since triangles have to have a total of 180 degrees, once you know two of those angles, this angle is already predetermined. You just have to do 180 minus those two angles to find the other. So as long as they have two angles that are the same, we know they're going to be similar. So let's look at an example. We are trying to identify similar triangles and explain how we know that they are or are not similar. So here I have a triangle with a 75, a 50-degree angle, and an unknown angle called x. This triangle also has an angle of 75, an angle of 50, and an unknown angle of y. I don't have to do any work. I know that yes, these triangles are going to be similar because they already have two pairs of congruent angles, two angles that are alike. That third angle, that unknown angle in both triangles, is also going to be the same because it's going to be 180 minus 75 minus 50 for both triangles. Therefore, they're going to be similar triangles. So let's take a look at some other triangles. Here I see that I've got a triangle with an angle of 54 degrees, 63 degrees, and an unknown angle called x. This guy has two 63-degree angles and an unknown angle named y. So far, these guys only have one angle that is congruent. They both have a 63-degree angle. So in this case, I am going to have to do a little work, and I'm going to have to try to find this missing third angle here. So I'm going to do that for this triangle here. So I already have 63 and 63 and the missing angle y, and I know it has to add up to 180. So I've got 126 plus y equals 180. So I can subtract 126 from each side, and I get y equals 54. So this missing angle is 54. So now they have a second shared congruent angle, so I know they are going to be similar. So yes, they are similar triangles because they have two congruent angles. All right, let's take a look at these two triangles. In this case, I both see that they have an angle with this box. They both have a 90-degree angle. And then this guy has a 38-degree angle and an unknown. And this one has a 42 and a 48. So it's not looking like they're going to be congruent, but I could always do some work to find out. I can find this angle if I need to. I would add 90 and 38 and y to get 180 degrees. So 90 and 38 is going to give me 128. And if I subtract 128 from each side, I'm going to get 52. So they don't have a matching second angle. So no, these guys are not going to be similar. No, they are not similar triangles. They only share one congruent angle. All right, let's take a look at our last example here. So back to that indirect measure we were talking about. So let's say we're planning to cross this river. We want to know how far it is. We take some measurements on the sides of the river where we can actually measure and make the drawing below. So we know we want to find this measure right here. Here's where we're going to cross. From here to here it's 40. From this point to this point, it's 50 feet, and from here to here, it's 60. And we've drawn this diagram, and we hope these are similar triangles, because if they are, we can actually find this missing length. So I can see they're similar because angle B and angle E are both 90-degree angles. So they've got one angle the same. And then these two angles right here are vertical angles, and vertical angles are always congruent. So I know they have a second angle that's the same, which means that by default, the third angle will also be the same. So they are similar triangles. So now that we know they're similar triangles, we can actually put a proportion together to solve for the missing side. So this triangle right here, these two sides make up our 90-degree angle. So these two can be written as a ratio, 40 over x. And then I can do the same thing for my two sides here. Got these two that are making up my right angle. So the x and the 60 match, and the 50 and the 40. So I'm going to do it in the same order, 50 over 60. And since they're similar, their sides should also be proportional. So I'm going to use cross products to solve here. So x times 50 can be written as 50x. 40 times 60 is going to be 2,400. I'll divide each side by 50 to solve for x, and for x I get 48. So the length of x is 48 feet. So it's 48 feet across the river.